y'all, how y'all doing? Driving with DLF Special Edition. I just want to bring back DLFTv interviews with a lost episode of Rooftop Screamer. I'm listening to him right now. This man, met him a while ago. One of the most impressive, amazing musicians I've ever met. Love his music, and I know you will love it too. So here you go, one lost episode of DLFTv with Rooftop Screamer.
That's cool.
So welcome again. Hello, we're in the studio today, and I have a special guest with me today, Roman Tytla. Hello, Roman.
All right, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We are actually doing a was it FaceTime kind of thing? Because
yeah.
Roman lives in New York, and he was gracious enough to honor us with a interview today. Just to give you a little background of us, and then Roman can give you a little background of himself. We met, what, 3 years ago now? Probably like 3 years.
Yeah, that was 2008.
Yeah, at a Taxi Road rally, of course. And I believe we were all waiting in that long line to register. And we just started talking in line and hit it off, and we kind of hung out the entire rally after that. So, and we've been, I would say, good friends, and just lie to the audience if you don't agree. Well, we've been we've been good friends ever since, and so Roman is part of Rooftop Screamer, which is a really great group. Did you give me your CD at the rally or as I was leaving? I can't remember.
Yeah, I gave it to you at the rally.
At the rally, okay. I think I mean, you can't do that in this day and age, but I probably ruined the CD because I played it so much. It was just like it's rock and roll, it's dirty, it's clean, it's a little bit of everything, and it's just a really good sound. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna cue up some music if I can, and I'll probably lose video because I don't know what I'm doing. This is more technology than I can handle. Yeah, so Roman, tell us a little bit about yourself and how Rooftop Screamer began.
Well, I've been playing professionally, just in local bars and clubs since high school. It's something I never wanted to give up. Played good 15, 20 years. I was playing around in the band we call ourselves Exits, and then from Exits with a Z at the end.
Oh, of course.
And then it morphed into a band called Managed Mayhem, which is an oxymoron. And then it turned into Zone. And the Zone, when we played with Zone, was very much a cover band. And then I got to a point where it turned into a job, and I love writing and composing and playing original music. I love doing cover versions, but they're always tend to morph into my interpretation of it.
Right.
Just turned into a job, and I didn't like it. I'm standing there playing, going through the motions. And one guy comes up to me and he goes, "Do you know any G and R?" And I'm like, "G and R?" So the drummer goes, "Guns N' Roses." And I'm like, "No, sorry, I don't." Oh, and then we started turning into, people were throwing so many requests at us. It's like, it's not really what I want to do.
Right.
Decided to sell the PA equipment that we had, and took the money and bought a recording studio with, put together, because as you know, it's become much more affordable, decent sound out of not too much investment. So I've been doing that since 2006, and then that's what prompted me to go to the rally, because I understood that I always thought I was okay, but I needed to get better. And I think the road rally really, meeting you and meeting other musicians, of similar, with a similar mindset, and that's what I was doing.
Yeah, I think the road rally for me, like Taxi, is something that if you remember, I've been doing this for way too long, but Taxi was something that I always wanted to do, and then you know 10 years later, finally did it in 2004. And Taxi, and this isn't a promo for Taxi, by the way, unless they want to throw me some money or some equipment or something. But
it's not going to be a taxi bashing. It's not going to be a bashing session either.
Yeah. But like Taxi for me, one of the greatest things about Taxi is just being in the same place with thousands of other musicians and all types of genres, and everybody getting along and enjoying each other and actually listening. It was it was a lesson for me too, because if you listen to the news or whatever, if you're hip hop, you're all hip hop and that's it, and country is just country and rock and roll is just rock and roll. But when you're at that rally, everybody is together, and it's just a great experience. But enough about Taxi. So anyway, the way the interview goes, as everybody knows, is I have 10 questions that I took from John Lipton's Into the Actors Studio, and one of these days I'm really going to get it right, because I'm not really sure if it's Into the Actors Guild or Into the Actors Studio, but you get the idea. So we go through
those
these
interviews, by the way.
Huh?
I said I enjoying those interviews.
Yes, they're pretty cool. That's why I did do the research to look for these questions, but I just can't remember the name of the show all the time. So, but anyway,
In the Actors Studio.
So I got it right. All right, sweet. I got these 10 questions. The 10 questions I start going through, but sometimes the conversation leads off somewhere else. So don't think you have to answer everything. Like, I had a couple of interviewers with one of the questions was like, I don't want to answer that. All right, no problem. So anyway, so we'll just start, and we'll start with number 1, which is, what is your favorite word?
I can't answer that. I need to check with my lawyer.
Can you sign the papers that I faxed you over this morning?
What's my favorite word? It's going to sound corny. Love.
Oh, love. Oh. It's funny. Quite a few people have said love. I'm going to put you on the spot. Why love?
Because that's really ultimately what it's all about.
It is.
Especially with all the crap that's going on in the world today, has gone on historically. And I guess, you know what, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine who happens to be an atheist. Very cold, very, in my opinion, empty guy in his core, in his soul. He always tries to do the right thing, but I always noticed, he just didn't have any sort of foundation.
Right.
Got into a deep conversation about, I was asking him why he feels the way he does. And I told him, I said, what if I told you that God is love? You keep thinking he's some bearded guy up in the sky. And I asked him, I told him, I said, okay, if you can't put anything tangible on God, because you don't believe in God, I said, do you love your children? And he paused, goes, well, of course I do. And I'm like, well, prove it. And he froze. He didn't know how to answer that. I was just like, well, just the way you couldn't answer it, but undeniably you love your children. That's what God is.
Exactly.
Love.
Yeah. See, that's a perfect definition. And I don't, not that I'm religious, but I don't want to get all like Jesus on you. And
Praise the
everything.
Lord.
But I mean that's basically what Jesus said. Love one another,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much that's it. If you do that, everything else will fall into place.
Yes.
So,
Yes. It certainly does.
Yeah.
We should always work every day towards it because I got, the fact that I'm into rock and roll and if you listen to some of my music, I got a little edge to it.
Uh-huh. Oh, we're gonna listen in a minute because I got some queued up.
Yeah, I don't like the edge I have. I mean, sometimes it's good to have an edge, but sometimes, as my wife says, my claws come out, and it's unnecessary. But I guess it's just my reaction, I guess my defense mechanism to the stuff that happens in the world or around me how you react to it.
Yeah.
As the older I get, more I think mature I get, and understanding that take a deep breath. It's not important. Move on. The past is the past.
Uh-huh.
Just focus on love.
Yep. Yep. And,
sounds cliche and corny, but
well, not really. And as far as the music goes, at least you're getting it out through the music. You're not blowing up schools and walking into banks and blowing people up, and so you're not getting it out that way.
Yeah.
So,
It's true, and then, and I get asked my kids, and every time I see my kids, I have nothing but love.
Yeah.
But love, even though, and sometimes they'll talk back to me, and
you want to crack them across the head.
I did to me, but you know what? I say, if you can't learn what not to do from your parents, what they did and didn't do well, I always use it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
Most people are like, "Oh, that's what my dad did to me, so that's why I do to my kids." That's no excuse. Your dads did what they did because that's all they knew how to do back in those days. And we were supposed to be wiser and smarter because we're a new generation.
Exactly. However, that doesn't work all the time.
No, sir.
I myself go, hey, I'm old school. But I understand what you're saying, though. It's definitely, we're supposed to not necessarily learn from mistakes, but just learn from the older ways and try to make them better. That's kind of what I had a conversation with my mom, talking about going off topic, but I had a conversation with my mom, and I said, no offense, I love you and Dad. I had no problem with the way I was brought up, but I believe part of my goal in life with having children is to be a better parent than my parents were. And both my wife and I try to do that on a daily basis. And like I said, it doesn't work that way all the time, but you just got to put your best foot forward, and hopefully we're not screwing up 2 lives, but we'll see, because you have 2 boys as well.
Yep, 2 boys, that's right.
Yours are older, though. Lucky you, I think. I'm not really sure.
17 and 14, a senior and a sophomore in school.
Yeah, I have a middle schooler, 7th grade and 5th grade. Adolescent time. So, okay, so
turning your kids onto my music, by the way.
Huh?
I appreciate you turning your kids onto my music, by the way.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, because I sent you that. Was it a video or just? Yeah, it was a video, right?
Goes around, comes around.
I mean, that's one of their favorite songs. As a matter of fact, my oldest son, he has a MP3 player, and he asked for that song to be on, and then another song, another song that my friend wrote that he really loves. He was like, "Yeah, can you put those on my MP3 player?" So he walks around with the earbuds in, singing that song.
I'm honored.
And by the way, he hasn't requested any of my songs on his MP3 player. So. But anyway.
In his opinion, you just haven't written your best stuff yet.
Well, there was a time when he was younger where he dug my stuff, but he likes lyrics, and he likes a lot of totally lost the word. Like one of his favorite people now is like Bruno Mars. Are you talking? Because your lips are moving and.
Sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Your lips were moving, but I couldn't hear you. One of his favorite people are Bruno Mars now, so he likes lyrics that have like a lot of emotion and stuff in them. So,
Emo.
Yeah. So I can understand why he wouldn't like my stuff too much because well, up until last year, I wasn't writing any lyrics. So, but I'm coming in, and I'm gonna take over. Maybe, who knows? So, what's your least favorite word? I don't have one.
Scared.
Scared? And like why scared? Because it makes you vulnerable, or?
Yeah, because I've been scared for the past. I've been scared on and off for the past year, and
He
so
said
that's other.
he said he didn't like it.
Yeah. It's not so much the word, it's definitely the meaning of the word.
The meaning of the word. I can understand that. I don't like being scared either. But I guess when you're scared and you come through that, you go, that's not so bad, or that wasn't so bad. Sometimes.
Yep.
Or hell, I do not want to go through that again. So what turns you on creatively? Like what makes you want to grab one of those guitars back there and get into the studio and start your mojo going?
The when I get to the end product and I get that chill up my spine, and sometimes during the creative process, and I know you know this as well as me, when you been thinking about a part and you just can't think of it, and then you leave it for a day or two, and then you come back and you put your headphones on, and then you start kind of jamming through it and just not thinking about it, no mind. And then all of a sudden you hit this pocket, and then you play it back, and you just say, "Yeah, that's how it
That's
goes."
it. Yeah, exactly.
That's it for me right there. And same thing with playing live. When you nail a song and when everybody's spot on and it's just it's otherworldly.
Yeah, because I've done this before where I've actually started something and maybe I spent, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours in the studio, and I'm listening to it while I'm still here, and I'm like, man, what a waste of time. And then I'll come back the next day or the day after, and I'll put it back on going, oh man, what kind of crap did I... But then like something will catch my ear and go, oh, I see where I was going with that. And then that kind of helps me pick that up and keep it going. Another thing too is because I write stuff for film and TV and I'm told what to write. Sometimes, like the other day, I was working on something for film and TV, and it got away from me. And it got away from me to the point where I was like, yeah, this isn't going in some library. Well, maybe not yet, but like this is definitely something that it just and it hadn't happened to me in a long time, so it's something that just totally took me over, and I was in here just writing, and then I can't tell you the last time I've written something, and I'm sorry, I know this isn't a DLF interview, but anyway, I was writing, and I was like, then the chorus came to me right away, and I stopped playing and set up the mic and recorded the chorus, or at least part of the chorus, and that hadn't happened to me in a long time, and it was very nice to be taken over like that. It was kind of like an emotional. it was like everything. It was creativity. It was spiritual. It was emotional. Like all that stuff kind of just took over this song, and I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to finishing it. That was one of the songs I was talking to you about the other day, that I would like you to throw the Roman on. We're gonna call it the Roman. The Roman. Let's see if that catches on.
Love to hear.
But oh, you will, my friend. So yeah, it's like that whole process. Now I'm surprised that you said that you get it towards the end game, like towards the end of the process. I mean, I understand that, but for me, lately it's been more of like the beginning middle part. Like I kind of get depressed when it gets towards the end because I'm like, oh. I mean, I'm glad it's over because it's like now I can share it, but I'm like, whew, like I'm kind of like, oh, I'm whipped, you know.
Yeah, it really is a drain. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Doesn't he know he's being interviewed?
Forgot to tell my secretary to hold my phone.
Okay, so so on the other scale of that, I love these questions. They're so simple. It's like, what do you like? What do you don't like? What do you do? What do you don't do? What turns you off creatively?
Oh, this you'll like this. It's something I can't do, and actually, it's when I met you, it's because of talking to you. It forced me to realize I don't like writing for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can. But when I've attempted to, like, okay, Roman, write a jingle, ain't happening.
Uh-huh.
I wish I could be like we had a conversation before, like being Charlie Sheen and 2.5 Men.
Yep.
Just getting the royalty checks coming in, you bang out a couple of jingles,
And you're done.
I have other things. I just can't. Because obviously because my library is so small. You were telling me, I said, like, Roman, you need to build up a library because that way, when a request for a listing or some sort of placement for a show or TV, the bigger library I have, the more I would say, oh, this song would work perfectly for that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I ain't feeling it, like in other words, if the song isn't there, it doesn't, because I write music, it has to come to me. I don't make it.
Right.
It sounds weird, but
no, it makes sense actually.
yeah, I just can't slap a bunch of chords together. I've met musicians that can, and I admire them. I just can't. It has to come from somewhere else. Like it's something that's wherever it comes from, it comes from out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm only working on my second CD, and that means I have 12 on my first. I have about 8, 9 songs on my second. So what do I have? Like just about 20 songs.
Yeah.
I just so that's what I realized. I don't enjoy when it comes to music. I'm not going to force myself to write something if I don't have anything. But on the bright side, I've been writing ever since I picked up guitar when I was 11, 12 years old. So I have a big book full of material I've been wanting to develop. So the material's there. It's just time. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Let me show you something real quick. These are my big books. This is how long I've been doing this. I'm showing him this. It's a cassette tape.
What's that?
It's a cassette tape. When I started being serious about music, as far as writing it and wanting to be in a band and doing all that stuff, I had a studio when I lived in Boston, and I would go into the studio and pop one of these babies into the recorder and just start playing and writing. So I have about 8 of these, and they're titled "Jammin' in My Room," volumes 1 through 8. And I've recently gone back and started listening to some of that stuff because, and again, this is not a DLF interview, but
it's okay. I'm enjoying this.
it's like some of the stuff that I wrote was a little bit ahead of its time. Some of it. I'm not going to say all of it. I'm not saying I'm a genius in any sense, but so it's neat to go back and listen to what I was thinking and doing back then, and I've actually taken some of those elements and created some pretty decent songs out of it. So, so it's just like, you know, you got your big book, I got like a sandwich full of cassette tapes. Which my kids, by the way, did when they first saw those. Go, what are these? What do you do with those? So, and I still have a cassette deck in my studio too. So
when you edit this interview, you could put a little like breakaway window explaining what a cassette tape is.
I know, right? Exactly. Cassette tape, you know, with the phonetic spelling and everything. So
yeah.
But
actually, Darren, I do something similar. When I would commute home, my commute home was an hour.
Uh-huh.
And as I think you, as most musicians will agree, or people that write, that when you're musing about something and you're kind of like you know, if it's the same commute every day and every night, your mind goes into a trance almost.
Uh-huh.
A lot of my ideas will come in that trance. And I have this little digital recorder.
Yeah.
Kids make fun of me because they play it back. They get a goof, get a laugh out of it. They play it back because all you hear is, okay, now this goes. And they're asking me, how the hell do you get a song out of that?
Right.
I said, you hear it? It reminds me of my idea. And just that little scat that I put into that recorder, a lot of my ideas.
There you go. And again, not that I'm trying to promote anything, but you have an iPhone, and I use, there you go, iPhone. Apple just sent a check to,
Apple.
I use something called Vocal Live, and it's actually a digital 4-track recorder on my phone. And I've done a few things here that are pretty cool. But check it out. It's Vocal Live. It's the free version. I don't know how much the regular version costs, but I picked up one of those iRig microphones, so it works pretty good with this as well. But it looks like a little 4-track recorder, and you see it has like a little tape right there.
Yeah, like the little Tascams.
Yeah. So this is what I just showed him there. So, all right, enough of that nonsense. So back to the questions. Tell me what sound or noise you love, and then tell me one that you hate.
A windy day, a breeze going through a pine tree.
Uh-huh.
That whisper sort of sound.
Yeah.
I love that. I love windy days, breezy days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whispering sound of the wind going through a whispering pine tree.
Cool. And then the sound that you hate, or don't love, or dislike.
My wife's voice.
Wow, let's make sure she doesn't check out this interview, huh? Now just imagine that head with a book going upside it, because that's probably what's going to happen if she ever sees this.
I hate the sound of an alarm clock in the morning.
Oh, tell me about it. My oldest son is in middle school now, so he has to get up earlier than everybody else, and being the stay-at-home person that I am, I get up ahead of everybody and make lunches and breakfasts and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that alarm in the morning, sometimes I do shed a tear or two when the alarm rings, because
Yeah.
it's painful. It's very painful. Um, oh, see, now this is the one that some people love and some people hate.
Okay.
To answer, what's your favorite curse word? He's like, there's so many.
It's such a plethora.
Do I have to choose just one?
Actually, my parents are from Ukraine,
Uh-huh.
and there's a curse word. Not quite a curse word, but yeah, it's used as a curse word in Ukraine. And it's but in translation, it's cholera. Cholera.
Uh-huh.
And in Ukrainian, it's cholera. It's got this kind of cutting sort of
Guttural
cholera.
kind of.
Like when you screw up, if you're doing something and you drop something, it breaks. Cholera.
Sweet.
So, that's
I'm gonna start using that. My wife's like, would you stop swearing in front of the kids? I'm just saying cholera.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Get off my back. These last couple questions I really like. What profession other than your own would you like to have a try at? Nothing, because being a rock star is awesome.
No, yeah, totally. An astronomer.
An astronomer. I always wanted to be an astronomer when I was growing up. Then I went to veterinarian. Now I just want to be a rock star.
Oh, that's cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, it was too much work. I'd still be in school. It's crazy. And like, what profession would you like want nothing to do with?
Lawyer.
Yeah, they do get a bad rap. I like the
I
money
wonder
though.
why.
You wonder why, you said? And my all-time favorite question of all, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? Do 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 do. Just kidding.
You got it right.
You know, it's funny. Like everybody has said something similar to that. It's like, you got it right, or welcome, good job, uh, welcome to the club, that kind of thing.
And more like, she got it right, but I need to send you back for 20 more lifetimes.
I know, right? It's like, yeah, here's your pass to go back.
That's right.
It's like, what do you
I
mean?
do believe you come back, though. That's actually it's something I believe in.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe we keep coming back to get it right.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Reincarnation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to take, for me personally, probably take another 1,000 lifetimes.
Well, you never know. You never know. It's kind of like the do-over. Like, people have been asking me lately, if you had a do-over, like if you could do something over in your life to change something, what would you do? And I'm like, that's a toughie, because
Yeah, it's a tough one.
there's a lot of things that I love about my life now. There's a lot of things that, with the knowledge I have now, I would have done differently. But would that change the way things are now? So when it comes to do-overs, it's kind of tough to figure out what I want to do over. So maybe that's why there's that reincarnation thing going around.
Yeah, that's a good question to put into your interview book.
All right, well, why don't you be the first to answer that? If you had a do-over in life, what would you do over?
I would have went to music school. But I was so convinced I was going to be a rock star coming out of high school that I just didn't need to, man. Yeah.
Because I'm like all that already. Yeah.
And maybe with a little discipline and something in the music industry.
Yeah.
They say better late than never, so I'm cool with that. But I think in hindsight, I had both my parents were artists.
Uh-huh.
My mom painted. She was a graphic designer, during the day, but she was an iconographer. She still
Wow.
is. She paints icons for Eastern for Orthodox churches.
Uh-huh.
Big 8 foot tall Jesuses and Marys and saints and stuff.
Very
Um,
cool.
so it was always it was very easy for me when it came to art because my dad was an artist too, a fine artist.
Uh-huh.
So I found myself in art school, and not to sound all egotistical, but I had more talent than a lot of those kids in that class, but I had no interest in it.
Right.
And I went because it was an easy path. So in hindsight, I would have been something in the music industry. Start off as an apprentice in a recording studio, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And jumped in right away.
Yeah. Yeah. I often, when my brother and I talk a lot, I often say to him, it's really weird. When I was growing up, and my bio says this, like at age 4, I was playing the piano, and probably for 7, 8 years, that was something that it was forced upon me, and it was easy enough to do, but like I didn't really want to do it. So when I finally got of age, my parents were like, well, if you don't want to do it, don't do it anymore. And then I started singing in school and playing in bands and stuff, and I was like, wow, that whole piano thing was kind of like the real deal. Like maybe I should go back and do it. And I actually went back when I was like 13 or 14 for 2 years, and probably learned more in those 2 years than I did in the previous 8, just because I was more into it. But along with what you're saying, I wish that I would have taken more time to hone my craft. As you saw when I did the little camera around the room, I have a lot of instruments in here, and I can play a little bit of all of them. But I sometimes wish that I could play a lot of bit of all of them. I'm still fairly decent on the keys. The drums, I might be able to do like a little drum track to Tic Tac Toe or Jingle Bells or something like that. But as far as guitar playing, when I get with guys like you who have been playing the guitar forever, I just get jealous because I probably picked up a guitar the same time you guys did, and I know the C chord, the A chord, the D chord, and the G chord, which are pretty decent chords. But
that's the Ramones right there.
there you go. But just some of the stuff that I've heard you guys play and have seen you guys play, I'm like, geez, if I had just, applied myself a little more. So I guess that would be my do-over. But the other thing too is the funny thing is I was serious. I think probably back in the early '90s is when I first saw the first ad for Taxi, and I always said to myself, "Oh man, I really want to do that, but I can't afford the $300." And I probably had more money back then than I did when I actually joined Taxi. So sometimes I wish I would have joined them a little faster. But again, like you, I'm kind of like things happen for a reason kind of guy, and
Yep.
Things happened when they happened because that's when they were supposed to happen. So, but I like that do-over question. Thanks. I'm going to add that.
Yeah, it's a good one. But I got to tell you something, Darren. Like you said, it's not a DLF interview, but anyway. But when I came back from the rally, I had a bunch of CDs, and everybody's handing out their CDs,
Right.
And I went through. I'm not going to mention their names, but a couple of folks that we hung out with.
Uh-huh.
Listened to this, I listened to that, and when I put yours on, you kind of had a cover that was, like it was like just it looked like a color copy, something you slipped into the thing, and I'm like, oh,
here's
and I
another
was
one.
really, I was expecting, I wanted your stuff to be good, but I was just like, well, I thought this guy's stuff was good and it was all right, everybody's at different levels and stages of whatever they're doing with music.
Right.
Like, oh boy, it looks like I had a feeling, okay, it looks like Darren's probably going to do the same thing. But yours was probably one of the only ones where I'm like, okay. Kind of like Steven Tyler said when he first met Joe Perry, Aerosmith. He was playing. Steve Tyler was playing with another guitarist, and the other guitarist just wasn't cutting it. So when he first started playing with Joe Perry, when Joe Perry started playing his first riff, Steven Tyler's comment was, "Okay, now we're."
It's funny. Your audio cut out right at the time you said that word, so it's like now I won't have to like beep it.
But it's the same thing. I heard your stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Well, thank you. I think that's probably like one of the best comments I've ever gotten on my music. Well, all right. It's it's taxi like we said before puts us face to face with a lot of musicians, and this is gonna be a teary moment.
Jumping up already.
The day that I met you, I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is what I come to Taxi for, because it's like I kind of felt the same way when I heard your CD, and I'm not gonna name any names either, but another person that we hung out with gave me his CD at the time, and I gotta tell you, I still listen to your CD. And I can't tell you the last time I listened to his. Matter of fact, when I was talking to you the other day, I was gonna say, dude, I need some new shit because I'm burning a hole in the MP3 player. But no, it's just like I said, I wrote a song that you played for me on, and it's like I don't know, your sound is just like it's kind of like that rock hip hoppy kind of. It's something that just catches you and it just keeps you going. I have to hold on a minute. I have to play one of my favorite songs. I hope I have the right version because I know you went through a couple of versions. I'm only gonna play a little bit of it, but it's like where is it? Oh, I don't think this is like the version from your CD. Can you hear that? Just listen to that. You know? Feel that? You can't even stop yourself from moving. So, I heard that song and I was like, yeah, this dude's got something going. And it surprises me that when you say like, yeah, I haven't gotten many forwards. I'm like, why not? Like this is the stuff.
It's dated. It's not dated. I guess they're not looking because you know how it is. They're looking for we need an indie rock, a band that sounds like Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
Doing no Vampire Weekend.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So.
And maybe that would have went over when Kid Rock was popular in the late '90s.
No,
but
true.
They ain't looking for that stuff now.
Well, they are looking for like '80s and '90s stuff now. And it's like, but they're not looking.
Actually, the one that I quit, the one that I'm not on anymore.
Oh, yeah, we're not supposed to be talking badly about Taxi. But I'm trying to think of. Oh, this one I like just because of the little sample snips in here. Too many notes.
Oh, no, that's so lame. Really?
You don't like that one?
No, I'm just my first song. I started playing around with MIDI, and that was my first MIDI attempt. And it just seemed like a goof one. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you like it. Trying to tell me you don't like that.
That's my lame attempt at keyboards.
And then, I wish I had, what's the last song you sent me? Oh, This one, I remember this one because you did this one for your boys.
It's not over yet. 2, 3, 4.
That was awesome. You did this song. Oh, can't hear it. You did My Baby. Which was like, I mean, listen to that. You're gonna tell me that you can't like be anywhere and just like listen to that riff going? But then you cut into it, like you think it's done, and then you cut into this.
It's not over yet.
2, 3, 4.
And then when I heard your voice in there, I was just like, oh yeah, see, I do that stuff all the time. But this is another great song. So while some people have gotten a little taste of your music, tell them where they can find your first CD.
Just go to rooftopscreamer.com. And on there's a place just to hit buy CD. And you can get it on iTunes, you get it on Amazon, it's available all over the place.
Sweet. So
yeah, I appreciate the little plug. Although when you started playing that My Baby, the beat, you know what I was thinking of in my head?
What?
Girl, you know it's true.
Oh, dude,
of you.
dude, another cassette.
Yes!
Milli Vanilli,
I
baby.
love Milli Vanilli.
So do I, man. So do I. As a matter of fact, you can't get that on CD, so I actually need to like record that or something, so like when the tape snaps, I won't be devastated. You know.
So whoever recorded that stuff was great.
Oh yeah. I think the people that actually sang it were the people that recorded it. So, well, that's it for my interview. Is there anything you want the people out there that are listening to know?
No, just we keep listening to Darren's. I'm big respect and a big fan of Darren's material too. Great stuff. I've always loved electronica, and it's it's all about the groove.
Yep.
And like you said, either you're feeling it or you're not.
Yep.
Or like Steve Tyler said. But you got if it feels good, if it's there's something else going on than just somebody trying to slap some beats together.
Yep.
And that's definitely what you got going on. Really nice.
I'm gonna give you a little taste of what I'm gonna hopefully send you next week.
Okay, great.
If I can find it in here. I can't remember where I put it. It's probably not in here. I'm probably getting you all jazzed up for nothing. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Alright. I'm only going to play a little tiny bit of this. Well, it gets even better.
I need to know. I need to know.
Okay, you're grooving too good. You're grooving too good.
That's good. That's good.
So, like, that's the one that I was working on and for a library, and it just kind of took over its own. It had a life of its own, and now it's mine.
That's cool. It's got a little 80s vibe, and I don't want to piss you off because you may not like these guys, but one of the first things I thought of, Devo.
Devo, yep. Devo, Kraftwerk.
Depeche Mode,
Yep.
which I'm big fans of all those
Oh,
guys. I mean,
yep.
I'm proud to say I'm a big Devo fan.
They're all on my faves. All on my faves list. So, no, that wasn't an insult. Definitely not an
No,
insult.
okay, good.
Yeah. So.
What do you mean you compare me to Devo?
How dare you? This interview's over. So, well, actually, the interview is over. So, thanks again, Roman, for taking time out and talking to DLFTv. And, you know, I'll be talking to you again real soon. But, you know, stick with the music, man. Stick with it.
I will.
And,
I will. It's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
And, you know, I can't, like, when I first listened to this the first time after I was like, okay, I'm done, let me just mix something down so I can listen to it and start working on lyrics, the first person I thought of was you. Because it's, and I only let you listen to a little bit of it, but it's edgy enough to where how you play guitar I think will just bring this thing out. So,
Bill, looking forward to it.
yeah. So another DLF Rooftop Screamer collaboration. So, but thanks again, brother, and I will be talking to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. So take care. See you guys later. We'll be talking to you soon. Bye. Oh, just in time.